Thanks for joining me on Driving Discourse. Today I want to talk about braking distance, what it is and why it's important. And we'll start with the definition of braking distance. Braking distance is simply how long it takes for your vehicle to stop once you've applied the brakes. And that can change based on how fast you're going, how much weight you're carrying, and things like the weather. Braking distance is a part of a bigger equation, which is stopping distance. Stopping distance is your braking distance plus your reaction speed. Your reaction speed is probably the biggest factor in your stopping distance. It's mostly affected by distracted driving. If you're not looking at the road, your reaction to what happens on the road is going to be greatly reduced. If you can't react quick enough to something happening, you can't apply the brakes quick enough, you're not going to be able to stop quick enough. If you're traveling 100 kilometers an hour, your braking distance is going to be around 50 to 60 meters. A semi-truck is going to take 3 to 4 times that space to stop while it's traveling the same speed. The distance it takes you to stop, again, is going to be factored in by how fast you're going to begin with. The weather that you might be driving in, of course, if it's raining or if it's snowing, it's going to take you a lot longer to stop. Your braking distance will increase. Even if your reaction time is good or quick, you still need to adapt to what your braking distance might be based on weather, speed, weight. Your stopping distance and braking distance in particular directly affect how much buffer zone you should be giving when you're driving. That is the space that you're leaving between you and the vehicle in front of you. If you've ever noticed, again, tractor trailers or semi-trucks driving down the road and they've got a lot of space in front of them, that's not just because a truck is slower than a car, it's because they're leaving that space to increase their buffer zone or their braking distance. In the event that something happens where they need to brake, they now have the space to do so safely. Why that's important for you to know as a fellow driver is that space is there for a reason, and if you take that space away, that truck or other car can no longer stop before hitting you if something goes wrong. Now, of course, there's always going to be instances where you need to merge in front of a truck or another vehicle and into their buffer zone and taking their braking space away. And most drivers are aware of this, and they're just going to stop accelerating or ease off a little bit to regain that buffer zone in front of their vehicle. That's defensive driving tactic. It's pretty straightforward. Make sure there's enough space in front of you that you can stop in the event you need to do so. What I encourage you to do to be a better and safer driver is, when it's necessary for you to merge in front of someone into their buffer zone, do so as far ahead of them as you can. Say there's 50 feet of braking distance left in front of a vehicle and you need to get in that lane. Make that change 40 to 50 feet in front of them. Don't make that change 20 to 30 feet in front of them, because you're taking away way too much of that braking stopping area that they've left for you, that they've left for themselves to stop to avoid an accident. Now, when it comes to truck drivers, good ones, and car drivers, good car drivers, are going to anticipate that, hey, someone might be merging in front of me. Maybe there's an off-ramp on the highway coming up that they need to take. So no one's going to be frustrated if you need to merge in front of them, if you can do so safely. How do you do it safely? Again, go to the end of that buffer zone and then merge over. Don't merge over right in front of the truck. That would be what everyone calls cutting someone off. I want you to be a safer driver. I want you to be a better driver. And no matter how good of a driver you might be now, there's always ways to improve. And hopefully these videos can help educate you or just remind you on some of the tactics you can use to be a better driver, a more defensive driver. What I find interesting are speed limits. Everyone thinks speed limits are far lower than they should be, especially with the capability of modern vehicles. And they are to a point. One of the main factors in determining a speed limit is stopping distance. How long is it going to take a vehicle to stop should something go wrong? There's also other factors, of course, visibility, the curve of the road, expected traffic volume, how many cars are on the road. It's going to make a difference. If it's a road that no one's expected to be on, the speed limit might be a little bit higher. But one of the main factors, if not the main factor, is stopping distance. Modern cars are more than capable of going well over 100 kilometers an hour with ease, but how quick can they stop? The biggest factor in stopping distance is reaction speed. So speed limits are low, not as a correlation to modern cars' performance, but to modern drivers' reaction speed. So to be blunt, if you want speed limits to increase so you can get where you're going faster, Pay attention to what's in front of you. Improve your reaction speed by anticipating what other drivers are going to do. Now, what I'm talking about today, mostly because I'm currently driving on the highway, is what I'm relating this video to, highway driving, but the same strategies apply no matter where you're driving. If you're driving down your neighborhood street, going to get groceries, going to the gym, or you're on the highway going across the country, something you need to be paying attention to is your following distance based on your stopping distance, which is based on your reaction time and your braking distance. So that's really it. Today it's a small part of defensive driving and how to be a better driver. And it's something I want you to pay attention to when you're driving. Braking distance, stopping distance, not only being aware of your own, but being conscious of other people's, especially truck drivers. If you think you're a good driver, you're probably not as good as you think you are. You're certainly not as good as you could be. And if anything, this could be a refresher for you to just pay attention more, consider other people's space, consider your own space, manage it appropriately, correctly, safely even. If you agree with me, if you think I left something out, or there's anything you want to add, I encourage you, please do jump in the comments, put your 2 cents in. That's what this channel is all about, is sparking discourse about everything I'm talking about. I don't want to just hear from myself, I want to hear from you. I want to hear your expertise. I certainly don't want to pretend I know everything and I'm an expert. I hope to teach you, but I also hope to learn from you and improve my own driving, because like I said, as good as you think you are, you can always be better, and we should always be striving to do so. So please, comment below what you think, what I missed out, what you want to add, where you think I might be wrong. I'd love to hear your input, and I'm sure others would too. I appreciate you clicking in and watching Driving Discourse, where I talk about all things driving, cars. If you found any value or entertainment in this video, please be sure to click like, subscribe, and tune in next time. We'll see you then.